live on YouTube and you can sign in there. I recommend not doing that if you're a bad student like myself and you wouldn't get the work done. Like online classes were new when I started going to college, and it was really weird. We didn't even have Wi-Fi or texting when I started graduate school. So everything was like plugged in and we like send each other like a note instead of a text. And then when my girlfriend in 03 sent me a text, I'm like, she like wrote to me on the phone. It was weird. So, point being, the electronics have gotten better. And so I can stream on this YouTube channel or like live. And if that's because of COVID, if you feel more comfortable watching that and you're going to do all your work, that's okay. The key is the 4 major assignments and logging in that way. But it's Dr. Trouth at Central State Channel. And I just kind of stream off of that.
You get money from it?
No, can you? I don't.
Oh God!
Because I should monetize it. You're saying like that's a pain in the ass. You got to like click skip. I hate that shit. Yes.
Is there supposed to not be anything on the D2L like classwork and stuff like that?
Correct. Because I always give you about a week and a half to get settled in. The first assignment, I know that's where you're going next, is like, what are the damn assignments to get me done? Genogram first. Ecomap second.
That's all on the syllabus?
Yes. And I'll give even more detailed descriptions as they won't be due for a week and a half. I usually do like every 2 to 3 weeks on the assignments. Presentation on a major mental illness, so like depression, anxiety, and then the large final paper. It's not large, it's like 6 pages. It's tiny. My dissertation was 155 pages, so if you can.
Wait, what?
To get a doctorate, you got to write a dissertation. A lot of times there's 6 chapters of 30 pages each. I wrote mine on refugee resettlement.
I won't get it out.
Well, to get a master's, you only got to do like a 30, 40 pager. Some of them don't have it. They just have a project.
Yeah, that's who I'm trying to find. Where do we find the people with the project? Because that's what I want.
It's your advisor. They're supposed to. They act like they do. They tell you they do and put comments on it, but who knows?
Do you know what universities offer the project? Because I want.
Oh yeah. I feel like UC.
UC.
You want to go to UD? You said.
No, I heard that like if you go to UD, because I'm an RA, so I heard if you like be a hall coordinator, they'll like pay for your master's program and stuff like that. Free housing, free food.
Do they have an
Found
MSW?
that to be.
They have an MSW?
I don't know. I think so,
But that's true at all universities. So you could go in and be a graduate assistant, resident assistant at Wright State, live in the dorms, food plan, and UC would probably have it. They're disappearing as life gets more expensive, and it sucks. I did it for a year at UC, and it was like 80% tuition. It cut back to 50, and then by the time I left, it was 25% tuition. So they're still there. How are you? Are you looking for Dr. Solomon Hill's class? Are you looking for human behavior in the social environment, or intro to social welfare or social welfare policy?
I was there earlier. When we talked about.
Professor Hill did not show up, so okay, just making sure, because did he say he already switched you?
No, he said to come sit in here, and then he said to have you do it.
I knew you would say that. You tell him I gave him the middle finger. You give him a message back. Like,
No, I was
okay, all right, I'll give him the middle finger for you. He's the chair. He's ahead of me. We are director-less right now. I'm interim director, and the chair is above that, and then the dean is above that. So if you guys have complaints, you give it to the chair, then the dean, then the provost, then the president. Does that make sense? The dean of Chaz is Amy Hawk Harris now. Yep. And then the provost is the whole university, and the president is all of the above. Yes. I think you guys have met him before. Would you have met the provost? Him and the president are like big ones, in charge of everybody. So, Here's your major assignments. Those of you who got into D2L, is the syllabus accessible? Can you access the syllabus?
Yes.
Okay, so you got your assignments on the syllabus. You've got,
I don't have nothing on here.
I saw the notification on my phone for the.
oh,
syllabus,
it's
but I
on the
didn't-
announcements.
How you go
So if
to
you
that?
go to the announcements, you'll see how to download the syllabus. Right here,
It's should be right under it. See you there.
there it is.
Oh, I see it.
So then you download this, and this is what we're gonna go over. I even changed out Mike Instructor. How many of your classes say Mike Instructor?
Like 6.
Does that mean like microphone or mic? So here's your syllabus. Other questions about CSW? So that's Council on Social Education. Is everybody in here a social work major? I think they have to be. If you're not, that's okay. We welcome everybody. We practice diversity, so everyone's welcome. And we'll change you into a social work major. I guess that's not really diversity.
Sorry, mine's not working.
So here's your syllabus. You guys know about what a syllabus is. It's your contract. You ever get blown up so many times, you just want to throw your phone out the window. Turn it off. Oh. So it's your contract. It's basically you show up, do this work. If it's signing in here live on YouTube, that's fine. But again, don't do that if you're a student like myself, where you're like, show up for the first day of class, not show up until December, and then have a panic attack and not have the work done. So if you do your work, this is fine. It's still the COVID era. We still have like a pandemic apparently, even though they've ended it, like 5 times? They ended the pandemic, but now it's back. So we gotta wear masks. If we were closer than 6 feet, I'm happy to wear a mask if any of you request that I do. Does anybody want me to?
I ain't tripping.
It's fine if you do. What's that? Right. Supposedly the exposure to the germs build immunity, but I get it. So if you're around like family members that are possibly sick. So you have the book. They still give you guys access to free books. Is that for real this time, or they're still lying?
Yeah, I
I
got
think
the,
they
I got
applying
the
it to your
book.
tuition.
I got the book for this class.
So they're not lying about
It's
it?
your tuition.
Yeah,
Oh, you already paid, but they don't send you a hard copy?
No.
they do. I got the
Oh,
book.
they do?
Yeah,
You have to give it back?
no.
Wait, is it white with like little colors in the front?
Oh, mine is red.
Oh, I got it.
Okay,
I got
that's
it.
Yeah, I got that. But they ain't say nothing about giving it back.
I didn't go.
Yeah, they ain't saying
I'm not paying. I'm not giving
Right.
it back. I pay for that.
You get to choose, but I'm glad they honored their promise, because I feel like one time they said, yeah, you get, yes. That's what I think you're right about. So human behavior in the social environment, I do have PowerPoints for every chapter of the book. Do you guys like PowerPoints?
Yes.
And those are gonna be on D2L as well.
I can at least send them out as announcements. I know that's not the best way for you guys, but
Put
I'm
them
still,
under content.
I'll try to figure it out.
Yeah.
That way, announcement, you get it in the email though, don't you?
The announcement, it just popped up as a notification on D2L.
Oh, I thought I sent you all an email. No, okay. All right. So yeah, and then we have all of those. So your first assignment is the diagram, and I'm going to. I'm glad you should ask.
It's like the thing, it's a circle. With like,
So
no.
Where do you see that?
I'll play
It's
what I
like-
do
it's
for
like
lots of
when you
folks.
click on the class.
What is a genogram?
Oh, that's the syllabus? Yeah.
Has anybody
You
here
talking about
ever
where you
watched
see what
like
you talking
Star
about?
Wars?
Oh, let me see.
No, sir.
Myself neither. It came out the year I was born, so. But this one uses Star Wars, so it's 3 generations of your family. I can show you mine. Judy has a weird accent. So it's your family tree.
Oh, yeah, I'm right.
We're going to do this. So I'll have you guys do the same thing. It's 3 generations of your family. Not the end of the world. I'll draw you one up of mine real quick. Huh?
Wait, do they have another website like Ancestry.com that you gotta pay for though?
Oh, there are some. Correct. You can just do it.
Or you're adopted? No, I'm saying like.
So that's a good question. I have,
No, y'all don't know. I was just asking for some people that might.
well, so some people pick their bio family if they know about them. Some people pick their adopted family if they're aware of it. Like here's grandma, here's grandpa, here's the, like, for example, I've got, hey, it still works. So you got my mom's side, my dad's side. Mom's side had 6. No, I'm saying it wrong. Dad's side had 6. Mom's side had 8. 1, 2, boys and girls. You know, you use whatever symbol you want. My dad's side had 4 girls and 2 boys.
When you say dad, say you talking about siblings or your auntie?
So those are all my aunts and uncles. I'm going to 3 generations. And then let's say,
People say YouTube video.
My dad has 13 kids.
Can you do that?
13.
My dad has 13 kids.
Right. So it's a lot. And so the reason,
My dad has 2
the reason we use this, why, I should say it this way, why you guys think we're looking at genetic history as a social worker? Okay, so why is that important? Why do you think it's important? Like say you have a history, for example.
You pass down trait.
So that's his grandma at the top. That's not his mom.
What's that?
His mom.
Yep. How they act, maybe cancer runs in the family, it runs both sides of my family, cancer. ADHD, depression, alcoholism, addiction. So when we work with our clients, I work in a private practice, this is like your assessment, you know, you don't have to do this with them, but if you do this with them, you learn a lot about somebody. Like, okay, so what family are you from? Even if you're adopted, like, what culture were you brought up with your adopted family? You know what I mean? And I'll put in no, truly, as I have on both sides, I have, my wife has a sister who could not biologically have children and adopted. My brother's sister-in-law also adopted 2 as they could not have children. So lots of things happen. It helps you know, why else would you want to know if somebody has genetics or adoptions or a trauma or. So as a social worker, you want to know exactly what you're dealing with. And so like, if we can help somebody make one of our own, we learn how to make it ourselves first. That way we know how to kind of direct somebody, like the questions that you would ask. So like I had alcoholism on both sides of the family. I guess the video does not point this way and the computer will probably die soon anyway.
So at the top, the circle and square that show grandparents.
Yes, so those are my grandparents. They're like 1910 and 1919, 1920.
I'm gonna say so with your
1930.
grandparents and your parents.
Uh-huh. So, and I forget which one I said was in
grandparents. Then their
there.
parents were how many kids?
These must be women.
Like, all
My
right.
grandma only got 3 kids.
So,
My granny got 2, but my grandpa.
what's that? The boxes. So then my family had girl, boy, girl.
My granddaddy had a baby.
So my granddad.
Wait, what?
Yes, that's my family. I'm the middle child. That's why I got so messed
I'm
up.
like the
Yeah,
All
So
right
for
here.
mine,
I had also a baby at 42, a baby at 43.
Yeah, right.
Wait, so much,
Huh?
right?
Punching is crazy.
Past 3 years, she wants like 5 or 6, so I'm like, let's try.
I want 10. So,
Kid,
but my granddad,
kid, say it one more time.
I want 10. So, got a whole start.
You gonna be rich, you gonna get you a mansion. You always gotta have a backup plan.
Both sides, you know, we do have alcoholism, we do have mental illness and depression, yes.
So if my granddad got 25 kids, I don't gotta write all those squares, right?
I mean, do as many as you can remember and know, as it'll tell your story. I mean,
It's okay. 25. His youngest is
He
3.
has 25 grandkids, you're saying?
No, kids.
He has 25 kids?
Yeah.
How many women?
12.
12 women, so 2 each?
What's your granddaddy look like?
Some at the same time?
Oh yeah, definitely the same time.
Is he bald?
Yep.
Yeah, that's fine.
Not
A granddad.
Kids.
Ooh,
I mean, that's interesting, like, it'll tell you. Well, because there's a lot of women, he wasn't monogamous.
Your granddad.
So he had like 2 kids.
6.
Some religions, that is.
That is crazy. So you trying to say
see, let me see. I see. Why
You
can't
can't do that another way though. Like a woman.
Yeah, all these kids look alike.
you want one more?
Right? Didn't they
Except
have-
for 22
Is it with
Don't they have
your
a-
grandpa? That's him right now.
Yes,
He ain't no grandpa now.
He died in his grave.
Is that true?
Kid, you better hop on that.
You gonna add to his, you gonna make him have 35.
If he taking care of other kids,
He takes Viagra. That's all you like.
I don't know. I mean, I'm open.
I hope
to
you
dialogue.
have sex.
What do you guys think?
No.
He got a 3-year-old.
Yeah? I don't know.
They go to 16, then they go somewhere. Oldest is like 40. So. But I was his first grandchild.
So,
3 for 5.
so we are going to get into the biology, how you get pregnant, how to then raise children from conception
The
to
first thing gave me this.
adolescence to middle childhood, adulthood, and then death. And that's like the family lifestyle. And that's kind of what we look at. And as a social worker, knowing those developmental things, knowing if one of your kids is a little bit behind, like they're not talking by the age of 2 or 3, or if they're not walking by 1 or 2, 2's like the latest. If they're not sitting up, you know, you can tell there might be future developmental things. And then preparing the family for that as a social worker. If you have a history of mental illness, a history of addiction, a history of alcoholism, depression, anxiety, what other things would you look for if you were seeing a client in private practice? Like what questions on assessment?
You gotta ask about the family. If you found me your family, so this is going.
Yeah, so that's a normal question often. Are you a middle child? There's also Adlerian psychology, so like child placement. If you're the oldest, don't you act different than if you're the youngest? So how many are the oldest in their family of kids?
The only child?
Like, who's coming?
So only child's oldest, youngest, and middle child. Okay. I'm a middle child, see, they say we're the most messed up. Cause like, you're neither there nor here, so it's, I don't know, you gotta read the Adler psychology. How many are the youngest? Are you totally different than your oldest siblings? That's what they say.
I am totally different.
Any twins?
I was just like.
I got twin sisters.
Okay. I have Irish twins. That means they're less than 12 months apart.
Yeah, my mom is Irish.
You said what?
Irish.
They the same
So,
age, like 4 days,
my
3
girl-
years. Yes.
I
That's
did it
crazy.
backwards here. My boy, and then the parents want to be a boy.
Oh, I had all my brothers and sisters. They like 9 months apart.
We didn't think you could get pregnant while breastfeeding.
Oh, well, my dad.
She did.
Wait a minute.
I'm serious.
Look
Look it up. The theory is you don't ovulate when you're strong. You ever heard that?
No, I don't.
For real?
Really?
What's that? It's supposed to be right. Your body. Right. So I'll be an old grandpa. I'll be 63 when little baby June graduates from high school. I'll be 45 next. So, it happens.
He's having before.
I turned 45. I turned 45.
He's cool as fuck. I literally pass all his high school to be or age.
So any questions about the junior grad? You could have like who divorced when. There's like so many details you can put in there. It helps you know like relationships with like on my mom's side, I'm almost positive she's the only one who's not been divorced. Or maybe one other. They've all been divorced. So it tells you something about maybe communication in the family, relationships, you deal with people, if you go off on them, if you freak out, you know what I mean? Like it just tells you a lot about the psychology of families. Isn't that crazy? Oh, none of them been divorced? Oh, none of them been married. Okay, and you can put that too. So that's another thing, like never married, married 5 years, died of colon cancer, died of alcohol, as detailed as possible. Yeah.
So how would I do it if like my grandfather, like my nana and my grandfather, so before they had my mom and her brother, they had my other uncle. So like how would I include that? Even though it's not like, but that's my uncle, you know? Like how can I include
Can I play the rest of this? Because I think they address it.
Okay.
I know that it's Star Wars, so it's weird to me. I don't even know how to turn it up. Do you guys know? Is that going to be too loud? You ready?
Drawing will display additional information about the relationships of the individuals. Genograms are drawn using standardized symbols to help the viewer understand the relationships. The basic family symbols include a square for a male and a circle for a female. Genograms also include special symbols to indicate if children are twins or if a child is a biological child or adopted, in case that information is helpful. Genograms also may include information about the actual emotional relationships. There are symbols to indicate a wide range of emotions ranging from friendship to hate. Genograms may also be used for medical and genetic analysis by simply tagging individuals with particular traits. Let's look at an example that demonstrates this. We will use Star Wars and the Skywalker family as an example. Let's start by looking at Padme's family. Her father Rui, represented by a square, mother Jabal, represented by a circle. She also has an older sister named Sola. We know she's older because she's to the left. Let's get a bigger picture. We can see that Padme is in love with Anakin Skywalker, who's the son of Anakin Skywalker and the Force. Anakin and Padme have twins, Luke and Leia.
So I know it seems confusing, this tracking, yes, like if you had baby daddy first, baby daddy second, like different, and you show it with like the different connections and dotted lines. And again, the point of this, so I don't want to teach you guys anything you won't use in social work practice. The point of this is when you work with a client, you want to get to know them, you want to know the details as they're comfortable sharing them. We're not going to force anybody to say anything. But as they're comfortable when they talk about it, maybe they don't want to talk about their biological father. And that's a telling sign, like what happened, you can maybe ask questions around that. Or they don't want to talk about biological mother or don't know about them. And that's very common. So this is over in a minute, but they kind of break it down some more.
However, Anakin does not know this and does not know about Leia. Luke is adopted by Owen Lars and Barry White. Turns out to be the son of Clea Lars, who married Anakin's mother after Owen's mother died. On the other hand, Leia is adopted by a failed Prester Organa and bred up until she takes the Organa family name. Luke has a close violence relationship with his father. They fight every time they see each other. Luke is
Did you
friends
know
with
that
Han Solo.
Luke's dad is Darth Vader? That's why he's saying that. I watched enough Star Wars to get that, but I think I watched the first one from 1978. Like in one of the videos, he's like, Luke, I am father, or some crap like that. And that's where he's getting. There's dozens of videos like this on YouTube, like different how social workers use it. I also was married young, so I've been married. I don't even know if you would put that or not. So, my wife, she's right here. She's from Set, Squares for Girls. She had boy, girl, died at 2 from a car that ran her over at age 2. So that was like a family trauma. And they had another boy, girl. And my wife was like the second youngest. I was married before my wife, and she didn't want to have kids. It was like amicable, broke off. She career. That's fine. Like we were married 5 years, and we probably were together 10. That's why I'm an old man. You know what I mean? So like we were like, so what explains your story? Well, I got remarried at 41. So I didn't have kids till 42. And now that I have a middle child, you gotta have 43, 44. We had some miscarriages in the middle, and now this one will be like one of them is 45. So they all get to carry some of it. Have you all, any of you heard that trauma is passed down now generationally? Like from World War II, they've done some research that like those who experienced the Holocaust have passed down trauma.
And slavery.
What's that?
And slavery.
Right. So that's another reason why we look into this. So like identifying the trauma gene, the slavery, the Holocaust, the refugees that we have in St. Leo's. Any of you remember a video I showed you about refugees we have at St. Leo's Church and Food Pantry that we helped resettle? So that set of family, the 2 tribes are Hutus and Tutsis, and there's a lot of violence there too. So I know my thing is going to die, and I wanted to finish the syllabus before it dies on you guys. Does that answer your question about genogram?
Yeah.
I know it was an extended answer for you, but I like to give you a detailed answer.
You just post that video when you get a chance.
I'll at least send it away like an announcement. And if I get technologically advanced more, I'll figure it out. So I'll get it to you guys. EcoMath, that will be due more like 4 or 5 weeks in. So they're similar, but as where does your energy spend throughout the day? Like you stay in your dorm all day drinking and smoking, do you come to class, do you work 20 hours a week, do you work out, you go to the cafeteria, you go to the gym, time at church. So it's kind of, I keep wanting to write on this wall, but the eco map is, it helps you identify patterns in your life. But like mine might have work, family, church on Sunday, school, teaching, and just kind of breaking down the energy. It's like, where do you spend your time and energy? Again, we'll get into that in more detail in a few weeks, but it's like, what does your client do all day? And why are they having the outcomes that they have? Like, if I am spending all day at the beach, or maybe even the gym, instead of work, it might show some things about, why I don't pay my mortgage, or why I can't pay for rent, or why I can't, like if I spend way too long at work, it could show why I'm having family problems. I don't give my wife and kids enough time of the day. Just normal things that come up in families all day, every day. And so it helps, it's kind of a starting point with your clients. Who all wants to be a private practitioner? Or work with kids, or work with, okay. So that's kind of chapter 3 and 4, and that's, we'll get into the theories and things that you guys also see in intro to psych. So more like week 7, 8, I'll have you start presenting on a major mental health disorder. So if it's alcoholism, addiction. I've even included in here food deserts or trauma or something that, interests you that you'd like to work with. So if it is like the effects on childhood trauma or ACEs or some of the stuff we've gone over in other classes before, you'll notice trauma is a common theme. And then we go through like the different aging from infancy up to middle childhood, and then like stop at late childhood, almost adulthood, because of human behavior and social environment too. That's when you cover those like adulthood, more of the 30s. So that's your second, I guess, third major assignment. You'll have eco map, genogram, eco map, and then the presentation. So sign up and make a report based on, and I gave you a bunch of references at the end. We can do quizzes if you'd like. What I usually do instead is send you guys answers and explanations for questions that are on the licensure exam.
Oh, yeah, let's do that.
You like kind of the paper theme instead. What's that?
The second one you just said.
And that way, it lets us get more into detail on the presentation, which is that oral report. And then the big final paper, so ethnographic study of one's family of origin. And you're going to use your eco map and culturegram on that. So just 4 major assignments. And that's kind of the breakdown. You got all your references. So these are people you can cite throughout the papers. Hey, it didn't die yet. We're in good. So any questions on anything? I know we're at what time? Yeah.
So you want us to do a genogram and bring that Thursday?
Most people, it won't do for 2 weeks.
Like you gonna have something where we post it into?
Right, you just take a picture and upload it into, I'll put up assignment for genogram, assignment for eco map,
Okay.
assignment for, and I just put them up as they come. As you guys ask why it's blank, I just want you to focus on what's due, what's next,
Right.
and that's it. Any questions?
I'm doing that today.
Okay, it is fun to do. It can, like, they have detailed software you can buy.
I think I'm gonna draw it.
We'll draw it. So that's kind of the gist of it. Like I said, you can catch me on YouTube and sign in there. You can come in person. I'll be doing it from here right down the hall. I hope we could keep this room.
Yeah, I hope so too.
What do you guys
Because
think?
that
That
other one
was
is
the
dead.
I know.
That is dead.
I was like I already started smelling like rank by 5 minutes in. Like I got to double my